I apologize, but I don't apologize for being a little motherfucking goddamn salty today. Uh, it's I just wanted to. What the fuck is all that shit? Oh, it's so fucking.
You really don't seem that salty.
I don't seem that salty, but you didn't hear what I was saying. I was talking mad shit about Brian earlier, nigga.
Again, you really don't seem that salty.
Thank you for understanding. Because I'm really not that. I'm really not salty, but I mean, for me, this has been a pretty salty day where I'm like, okay, and it's not even salty. It's just like, and that again is making an excuse. That's the victim shit, where you make the excuses for your victimizers. You don't make no excuses for your victimizers, nigga. That's how you become victorious. Is not making excuses for your victimizers anymore. You know what I'm saying? And we do that as black people. We make excuses for the white power structure and how it treats us. You know what I'm saying? We have our appeasers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's the group dynamic again. There's a group psychology and there's the individual psychology, and our group psychology is unhealthy, and we have to really kind of view our group psychology and see that it's unhealthy. Like Dr. Ali Muhammad was talking about the lack of psychology in the conscious community in relationship to why we believe what we believe. That a lot of what we believe is based upon psychology. Even if we leave old beliefs that are associated with the unconscious, we still carry them on to what we believe is conscious. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew Israelites, a good example. You left Christianity to join Christianity 2.0 based upon psychological parameters set for you in relationship to this thing called morality. Human beings and human beings, period, but black folks really don't understand how psychologically damaged we are. You know what I'm saying? How um, easily we fall back into we do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, thinking that, if we, just like, adapting the Saudi Arabian, version of Islam, or even trying to really see the Saudi Arabian and the North American tradition as being the same. You know what I'm saying? That idea of Sunnah versus what is Sufi. And that we even, like with Wesley Muhammad is trying to prove that the North American tradition is Sunnah. As if Sunnah is somehow a superior form of Islam to Sufi, which is most likely its predecessor. Sufi is probably much older than Sunnah, but Sunnah is what we present as being the older Islam because that's the agenda of the Arabs. I mean, we can easily say that, Islam existed within America. Saudi Arabian tradition existed within America before the coming of Wallace D. Farad, the Farad Muhammad. Before his teachings, there were, Saudi Arabian Muslims that were here, and there was already Prince Hall interpretations of Islam preceding that. But hey, dude, we didn't get they weren't coming to our motherfucking neighborhoods then telling us how much Islam was our true religion and how we needed to leave Christianity and adopt Islam. It wasn't until not just W.D. Muhammad, W.D. Farad. It was after the death of Elijah Muhammad that the Saudi Arabian, with the help of Warth, that they came and, oh, this is your true Islam, and this is your true Islam, and this is true religion, and this is how you should practice Islam. They waited to the death of a man in order to do that. And there's certain kind of there's certain kind of, should be certain level of skepticism that should arise when those tactics are taken, So here I am, trying to be, less salty or less Alton centered, even though I got to be Alton centered sometimes, because in order to be able to actually be Afro centered or actually community centered, I first need to be centered in self. And that's the whole point there too, as far as, because I was watching this Baha Faith thing, Baha'i Faith, or however the fuck you say that shit. That, Pam and fucking Jews should be part of that shit for a minute. And I was watching this, and they have this very appeasing view of how to solve the race, issue. First, to solve the race issue, we have to, come to the terms that there's no such thing as, races. There's only fucking, you know, the human race, and then is broken down into ethnicities, and that there is nothing wrong with diversity. That strength comes from our diversity, and that we shouldn't, as African Americans, have to give up our diversity in order to find inclusion. And that's the problem with the situation, that, you know, multiculturalism stops, diversity stops when it comes to African Americans. African Americans are the only group that should consider giving up their diversity in order to have inclusion. No other group needs to give up their diversity in order to be included. We are the only group that is urged to give up our diversity and the desire for autonomy in order to have inclusion in the global family. Now, every other nation can be an individual nation. Every other ethnicity can be an individual nation with autonomy and still be included within, you know what I'm saying, the global family. African Americans, no, any talk about y'all talking about autonomy, independence. That threatens your fucking inclusion within the global family, not other nationalities. And again, like I was saying beforehand, if national identity, if cultural identity and linguistic identity is unimportant, every other ethnicity needs to give it up, and then we all need to motherfucking agree upon one global culture and one global nationality. And since that's not happening, African Americans should not have to do the same thing. And we should not have to accept second class nationality, because that's what African American is. It's second class nationality, which leads to second class citizenship. And until we can attain first class citizenship, our own individual national autonomy, we cannot be of any good to the global family. We can't give healthy global input if we can't have healthy group input. And that's me ranting again, because this is Alta's rant day.